movies continue to be a major moneymaker for Hollywood productions year after year. And there are lots of adrenaline-fueled releases to look forward to in 2024. In this video, we are counting down the top 10 most anticipated action flicks coming out in 2024. Let's get into the video. Kicking off our list at number 10 is The Beekeeper, when his wise neighbor, played by the formidable Felicia Rashad, falls victim to a sophisticated phishing scam. Statham's Clay unleashes a raw fury that would make John Wick jealous. What starts as personal vengeance quickly spirals into a honey trap of conspiracy, revealing a web of digital deceit that only an elite group, the Beekeepers, can dismantle. Fresh off his powerhouse appearances in Meg 2 and Fast X, Statham proves he's the undisputed king of action cinema. His trademark intensity hits new heights. Josh Hutcherson lends his tech-savvy skills. Minnie Driver brings her razor-sharp wit and cyber expertise, and the enigmatic Jeremy Irons adds a Shakespearean layer of villainy. Next up at number 9, we have KRAVEN the Hunter. Aaron Taylor Johnson takes on the iconic Spider-Man villain in this visceral origin story, promising raw action and a deep dive into the psyche of one of Marvel's most fascinating beasts. Whether or not Spider-Man swings into this particular jungle remains to be seen, but one thing's for sure, KRAVEN the Hunter is more than just a summer blockbuster. It's a descent into the heart of darkness, a brutal ballet of action, and a nuanced portrait of a villain. This August, Sony's letting the beast loose, and you won't want to miss the hunt. Taking the 8th spot is The Fall Guy, scheduled for release on May 3, 2024. Ryan Gosling might be America's favorite Just Ken, but he's already moving on to bigger, more dangerous things. Gosling is the leading man in The Fall Guy, the upcoming action film based on the 1981 TV series of the same name. Ryan Gosling plays Colt, a stuntman, and now fresh off an almost career-ending accident, this working-class hero has to track down a missing movie star, solve a conspiracy, and try to win back the love of his life while still doing his day job. His ex also happens to be the director played by Emily Blunt, filled with crazy explosions, daring escapes, and stunts that'll make your jaw drop. It's the comeback nobody saw coming, but the one we all need, a cinematic cocktail of nostalgia, thrills, and pure entertainment. Sliding into the 7th spot is Kung Fu Panda 4, hitting theaters in the United States on March 8, 2024. Po and the gang are back for another round of martial arts mayhem. With the success of the previous films, the anticipation for this installment is through the roof. And let me tell you, it's a kung fu feast you won't want to miss. This time, Po's trading in his Dragon Warrior dudes for a fancy new robe as the spiritual leader of the Valley of Peace. But don't think our favorite fluffy warrior is hanging up his noodle hat just yet. Nope. Trouble comes knocking in the form of the Chameleon, a shape-shifting villain who throws Po's past back in his face by resurrecting old enemies. To combat this scaly scoundrel, Po needs a new partner in crime. And that's where Zen enters the scene. Voiced by the awesome Awkwafina, Zen's no damsel in distress. Here's the real kicker. Rumors are swirling that Zen might be the next Dragon Warrior. Think about it. Po's stepping aside, passing the torch, or in this case, the Jade Staff, to a fresh face. This could be a game changer for the whole franchise, paving the way for a new trilogy focused on Zen's kung fu journey. Zen's arrival hints at a future where the Furious Five might take a backseat, letting new heroes shine. Kung Fu Panda 4 is more than just a comeback. It's a whole new chapter in the beloved saga, one that promises epic battles, unexpected alliances, and maybe even a new Dragon Warrior to root for. Breaking into the top 6 is Deadpool 3, officially bursting onto the big screen on May 4th, 2024, as part of Phase 5 of the MCU. Wade Wilson is back, and this time, he's taking his unique brand of humor and chaos to new heights. Let's be honest, this film redefined what superhero movies could be. Now buckle up for Deadpool 3, because things just got infinitely more interesting. Hugh Jackman is clawing his way back as Wolverine for the 10th and possibly final time. Imagine the witty banter, the brutal brawls, and the endless fourth wall-shattering hijinks these two will unleash. It's a bromance for the ages. Ryan Reynolds is keeping the script under wraps tighter than a diamond in a vault. But rest assured, There will be shattering wisecracks, meta-references galore, and enough R-rated humor to make you laugh out loud. At number 5, we have Venom, scheduled to hit theaters in November 8, 2024. The first 2 films were a monstrous success, and with the promise of more symbiotic action, Venom 3 is set to be a thrilling ride for fans of the anti-hero. Things are already heating up. Venom 3 is already building a powerhouse cast. Chiwetel Ejiofor, remember him as Mordo in Doctor Strange, and Juno Temple, Ted Lasso's resident Starlene, have snagged lead roles, and let's just say, things are about to get ready for a story penned by none other than Tom Hardy himself. Now, plot details for Venom 3 are tightly under wraps, but remember the wild ride of the first 2 films. Venom 3 is bound to crank up the action and the laughs, while exploring the complex bond between man and symbiote. In the 4th spot, we have ARGYLLE, bursting onto the screen on February 2, 2024, starring Henry Cavill as ARGYLLE, a super spy so smooth he could charm a bullet out of a gun barrel. But this time, Cavill ditches the cape and tights for a tailored suit and a license to thrill. A novelist named Ellie Conway, played by the ever-dazzling Bryce Dallas Howard, starts writing espionage thrillers that eerily mirror real-life criminal activity. A secret agent tasked with protecting Ellie before her fiction becomes fatal. But hold on, because this A-list party doesn't stop there. We're talking John Cena throwing villains through walls, Dua Lipa making her cinematic debut after stealing the show in Barbie, Bryan Cranston and action legends like Sofia Boutella, and let's not forget the king of cool himself, Samuel L. Jackson, because no spy thriller is complete without a dose of Nick Fury energy. With Matthew Vaughn directing and Jason Fuchs crafting the whip-smart script, ARGYLLE promises to be a laugh-a-minute roller coaster ride, packed with explosions, gadgets, and enough twists to keep you guessing until the credits roll. This isn't just a movie. It's the potential launchpad for a sprawling action trilogy from Apple and Universal, so buckle up. This prequel to the Mad Max series delves into the backstory of the iconic Furiosa character. With George Miller at the helm, expect nothing short of a post-apocalyptic masterpiece. The Mad Max universe is about to get a whole lot madder with Furiosa, a Mad Max saga, roaring into theaters on May 24, 2024. This is a full-throttle prequel that dives deep into the fiery origin story of everyone's favorite one-armed warrior, Furiosa. This time, we've got Anya Taylor-Joy strapping on the leather and taking the wheel as a young, fierce Furiosa, decades before she teamed up with Max Rokitansky. Chris Hemsworth, the god of thunder himself, is trading his hammer for a rusty wrench as the villainous warlord Dementus. Rebbing the 2nd spot is Rebel Moon, Part 2, the SCARGIVER, scheduled for release on April 19, 2024. Following the success of the first part, this sci-fi epic continues the saga with even more intergalactic battles, stunning visuals, and a captivating storyline. Part 1 split opinions, like with critics throwing some shade at its Snyderness. But here's the thing, the audience loved it because Rebel Moon is pure Snyder gold, a visually stunning, action-packed roller coaster that throws in everything from samurai sword fights to mecha slugfests. Part 2 cranks the crazy up to 11, ready to defend their newfound home of Veldit against the oppressive forces of the Motherworld. Think epic battles under swirling crimson skies, heroes rising from the ashes, and enough slow-motion explosions to fill a supernova. Securing the number 1 spot on our list is Gladiator Part 2, slated for release in the United States on November 22, 2024. With the legacy of the original film and the promise of a gripping continuation, Gladiator Part 2 is the most highly anticipated action film of 2024, over 2 decades after Ridley Scott's epic original sent chills down our spines and won countless awards. He's back in the director's chair to unleash a whole new chapter of gladiatorial glory. But let's be honest, the real question on everyone's lips is can Gladiator 2 possibly fill the colossal sandals of its predecessor? The original film raked in over $500 million worldwide and swept the 2001 Academy Awards. So yeah, the pressure's on, but with Ridley Scott at the helm and this A-list cast bringing their A-game, Things are looking gladiatoriously good. Details about the plot are shrouded in more secrecy than a Senate meeting. But we do know this, it picks up decades after the original. So expect a Rome transformed by time, where the echoes of past battles still linger in the Colosseum. Before we wrap up, let's give a quick shout out to some honorable mentions. Dune Part 2, Madam Web, Bad Boys 4, and Ballerina. These films didn't quite make it into the top 10, but they're still worth keeping an eye on for their potential to deliver cinematic excellence.